All right, everybody, welcome to Bloomington Buddies. Obviously, we're doing another online episode. As you guys can see, our producer Jackson went out of town this weekend. He needed a break from us. We know how tired he gets of dealing with us too. So, he wasn't able to be here with us this week. So we decided to just go ahead and do another virtual one. It was just easier for us to do it on here than trying to, find another spot to do it. Obviously, Quincy and me had a background battle. I won the background battle. Quincy dunking on my head. But yeah, we're gonna do this. This will make it easier for me to edit too. But we got quite a few things we want to get going today. Obviously, MLB opened up last night or during the day, I guess too. It was a crazy opening day. A lot of good games. We'll get to some of those here in a little bit. And then obviously, we also um, we also are going to do an NBA playoff talk, just in general standings, I guess is more like it, as the play-in tournament will start not this coming week, but the week after. And then also, I feel like we need to talk about one of the biggest. People are saying disappointments, but I think it's going to be one of the best Final Fours ever in both men and women's.
I like the fact that it's because
I do too.
like
I'm
last year was
tired of it
fun.
being the same.
Last year was fun because all three of the games were pretty much really good games. But
Yeah,
I like seeing new teams because it means so much more
correct.
to their
But also,
school.
yeah, I mean, it's just like football. Like most of the time, like this year, it was an interesting championship game because it was one different team. But like now that it's four different teams, it's actually really interesting to see, and it's not just the same crap over and over. I hate the repeating stuff all the time, which I mean, a lot of people understood with the Patriots winning every year, stuff like that. It's just kind of annoying. Um, so we are gonna go. I think we should start with that because that's going to be very interesting. Both men and
With
women's have probably a fantastic Final Four. Obviously, uh, let's go ahead and start with the men. Men's Final Four is ridiculous. We got FAU is going to be playing San Diego State, and then we've got
I told you not to
Miami.
doubt the Owls, and you doubted the Owls. I don't know why you
I
did that.
doubted. Yeah, you're right. I doubted the Owls, and you also, dude. K State played like crap that game. They lost on rebounding. K State is by far and hold the better team in my opinion. They still are. I think that they just did not get off in the rebounds. If they would have gotten the offensive rebounds, they would have.
FAU gets so many rebounds because they're a pretty big team. They have a 7
But I'm
footer.
telling you right now, if they would have gotten like 10 more rebounds offensively, that team is just a better shooting team and just like assist team. Like they've got such good court vision. Um, I love that. I love K State actually. That's one of my favorite teams. But
I was really surprised San Diego State made it.
I wasn't. I told you that if there was a team that was going to beat Alabama, K State or San Diego State would, and you were like, no, Alabama's going to beat them. Nope,
Well,
I told you.
I just didn't think that. I didn't think they were that good. I figured they would lose
I did.
to Charleston.
No, I had them. I think I had them going to the Elite Eight and lose, or maybe I didn't. Maybe I actually did have them
I
losing
thought
to
Creighton
Bama.
would beat them. I thought Creighton was going to be the team to beat in that
I did
region.
too.
I thought for sure they would
I,
win
I
that
I
game.
had Creighton going to the Elite Eight
The
and
end
then
of that
losing to.
game was super controversial because they fouled the guy. Creighton fouled, and San Diego State made one of two free throws. And then they went to
That
throw on
was
the lane
bullshit. There
before.
was time in the game. No, there was like point
I
eight
don't know. I
seconds.
don't think because they're like, oh well, the clock operator didn't start it until he hit the ball, so it actually ended. I don't know. I think it's kind of pointless to go back and forth
I mean,
about
it is,
that.
but also like that late in the season and such a big game at that point, like I think that that's bullshit.
I
And
was
also,
really
I'm also
surprised.
calling bullshit call.
I was really surprised about how badly Miami is playing really freaking well.
Yeah, they are, but I will also say this: I think that call was that. I mean, people are gonna argue with me. That's fine, but I honestly think that I'm one of those people that believes when it's such short time left in a game and it's such a big high stake game like that, that there's a point where you just let him play, man. Like that foul against Creighton was bullshit. He didn't even hit his arm. He bumped him in the hip.
He
I watched it multiple times. It was a bullshit.
he hit him while he was in the shot. That is a foul.
He wasn't affected at all. It didn't affect the
It's a
shot at all.
little
He
bit of
went
a
in.
soft foul, but by definition, that's a foul.
Yeah, but like they hadn't called half those. There was literally three times that Creighton's players got absolutely bodied in the paint and knocked over. They didn't call it. At that
I
point
will
in time,
say,
that late in the game, just let him play. Let him play.
I will say though, the team to beat is UConn. UConn is
100%.
100% the team to beat.
I said this. I don't even care who wins now, as long as somebody beats Miami. I don't give a crap who wins.
I don't know.
I'll even take FAU. I don't care as long as somebody beats Miami.
Well, so Miami they were losing against Texas, and then Texas just forgot how to play basketball. If you let Miami go on a run like that, they're just going to win.
I told you Texas wasn't going to win. I actually called that.
So let's preview the actual games. The early game at 6:09 is FAU and San Diego State. That's just so random.
I know I doubted the Owls once, but I think San Diego State coming off beating Alabama is just going to be too hype. They beat Creighton. They have a good team. They are actually a really solid team. Nobody
I'll
gives them
say
credit for it.
this. I think FAU's looked way better than San Diego State.
Yeah, but they also haven't had as hard of competition, in my opinion.
Fair, but I still think they're a better team. I mean,
I don't know. I think the hardest team FAU has literally had to play was freaking Kansas State, and that was it. San Diego State has literally played the top seed, the center almost. Well, yeah, they beat the top seed. They also beat who's the other team they beat? Oh my god, am I tripping?
Creighton. They beat Furman.
They beat
Furman,
Charleston
Creighton,
barely.
Alabama, and Charleston.
Yeah, so they beat a team that actually Furman is actually a good team. They destroyed them. Yeah, but they beat Alabama and they beaten Creighton, who was actually one of the favorite teams to go to the Final Four.
Well, the team that
Whereas
gave FAU the best game was Memphis, and FAU beat them at the buzzer. And a lot of people thought Memphis would go to the Final Four, but FAU kind of just
Memphis is not a good team, really. I didn't like Memphis. Memphis isn't
Memphis
that
is
great.
real hot going in. Memphis and FAU were like two of the hottest teams going into the tournament.
I agree Memphis is one of the hottest teams, but like Memphis at an 8 seed, I didn't think they would get very far. But I mean, think about it. FAU's road has been fairly easy. They beat Memphis, whatever. That was a close game. They played FDU, which they should have beaten by more than 8.
Better than Purdue.
They played Tennessee, who is not a great team. They just got lucky and got in at a higher seed. And then they played K-State, which was the hardest team they played.
Here's my thing about San Diego State is they're 4th in defense, 75th in offense. FAU's 30th in defense. I don't know. To be honest, the efficiency doesn't matter. It really doesn't.
Efficiency doesn't matter. It's going to come down to who's going to come up clutch in this.
It's mattered in every year besides this one. I think FAU just passes the ball too well, and they can shut down offenses when they need to. I think FAU's the better team. I think they win.
I don't know. I feel like with as good of a defense as San Diego State had against Alabama and Creighton, I think they'll be able to shut down their offense, and then they just need a couple of points. They looked good.
I think this is going to be.
I'm taking.
Here's what I think is going to happen. This is going to be a very low scoring game. I think it's going to be a very low scoring game.
Well, define low, because I'm thinking it's going to be like in the 70s.
I think this game's in the 50s.
Really?
I think this game's in the 50s. Well, I don't know what I'm going to see. The over-under is 132. I'm hammering the under. Hammering the under. I think this is going to be an ugly kind of game.
The over and under is 30. It's 132. I can agree it's going to be under, but I'm not by much. Like, it's going to be close. I think there's going to be a team in the 70s.
I think this is going to be a very low-scoring game, and people are going to be like, "Oh, well, I'm not going to watch anymore because this is why two nobodies in the final." I think that's exactly what's going to happen. But I just think FAU, they've been so clutched on the stretch. They're a really good free throw shooting team too. They don't miss very many free throws.
Yeah, they don't.
San Diego State's favored by 2.5. I'm liking my odds with
FAU. Okay. Yeah, you take FAU. I'm gonna take SDS. I think that they looked really good. All right, other game, UConn and Miami. Okay, I'm just gonna flat out and say it. There is not a single team that is hotter right now than UConn. I'm sorry. When you beat Arkansas, who beat the number 1 Kansas, you beat them by 23, and then you come in and you beat Gonzaga by 28, and you didn't even look like you were trying. Like, I'm sorry.
Their margin of victories are 24, 25, 23, 28.
Yeah, they haven't lost a game by – it's ridiculous. They're the hottest team. Now, I will say if there's one team that's going to test them, I can see it being Miami because of how fast-paced Miami plays, and they're going to keep them on their heels. But I just think with Miami doesn't have height, really. They don't have a huge guy. UConn's got some really good paint defenders. UConn's got some good shooters.
Miami didn't have a big guy against TJD, and it didn't matter.
But TJD is not a huge guy. TJD is 6'8". Like, he's not like a massive dude. I'm pretty sure one of the guys on UConn is what, 6'11".
Something like that. I know FAU's got a 7-footer.
Yeah, but like that's what I'm saying. They're not. TJD is a forward. He's not a center. UConn's got 2 big guys, so they're gonna bully you in the paint. And now I don't say judge everything on stats, but stats also don't lie. So the fact that their margin of victory has not once been under 20, and especially against a good team like Gonzaga,
I
like that's
I
pretty
think you
impressive.
got to look at I think you got to look at every game. As the thing is though, is Miami plays very similarly to Gonzaga,
Exactly. And
but
that's
I
the
think
problem.
Miami's defense hasn't even been bad. That's what I thought. Oh, their defense is just going to sell them the tournament. I'm like, yeah, they can score, but they don't have a good enough defense to keep up with anyone. Well, they won a low scoring game against Drake. They should have lost to Drake in the first round. I was pissed because I wanted IU to play Drake instead. Drake had a lead near the end of that, and
They did.
Miami came back, beat them. And then they only allowed 69 to Indiana. And their defense really, okay, they allowed they really tightened up for a stretch against Houston. All they got to do
Yeah.
because Miami's going to score throughout the whole game. All they got to do is just tighten up on defense for one little 5-6 minute section, and they can just get a lead and hold on to it. That's what they did against. Well, they did that twice against Indiana because they did it in the first half, then Indiana came back, and then they did it again.
Yeah,
But that's how they
100%.
beat
And we'll see
Houston,
if they
and
do.
that's what they did against Texas because they were losing against Texas, and their defense tightened up, and they came back, tied it, and won.
Yeah, and it's now. Don't get me wrong. I can't say that I can't not give credit to Miami. I think Miami's had a great run in the tournament, and they've deserved everything they've done. They played great, but I think that they've been so used to playing teams like Indiana, like Houston, where they're a lot more like they have their guy that they go to. If you can shut them down, they're not huge guys. They're more of a smaller team. And now you're going up against a team that literally relies on their bigs in the paint. You're gonna have to figure something else out. And they played Miami. Yeah, TJD is pretty much everything ran through him. But if need be, we could kick it out to Miller. He could knock down a three. We could kick it out to Trey. He could hit a three. UConn really just heavily goes in their big men, and they're bigger than TJD.
They've got a guy
So,
that can shoot. I can't remember
oh,
his name, but they got a
100%.
guy.
They
They got a
do, but
guy.
like
They got a real good.
they
He's
100%
like
they
a
do, but
first rounder. I'm
they're going to
blanking
rely
on
on
his
the big.
name.
But
No,
like
they have a
it's
guy
not
that
like
can
us.
shoot.
They do, but when Trace
Jordan
was doubled, what
Hawkins.
did we do? What did we
Jordan,
do?
wait, when
We
Trace
ended
was
up turning the
doubled?
ball over because we were flipping out, right? UConn doesn't flip out. If their big guys are getting doubled and they can't make it, they kick it out calm. They've done it all. That's why their margin of victory is what was it 22, 25, 20, 23,
They
and now
were
28.
all over 23.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
Well,
ridiculous. So they're gonna. I honestly think that they win this game again by. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a little closer just because Miami has just had some really good
UConn
transition
is
baskets.
favored by 5.5.
I'm gonna say 15. They win by 15.
You think they win by 15?
At least. At
I
least
don't
15.
see Miami getting blown out in this game. They got my thing with Miami is their offense has played so well. Besides the Drake game, they scored 80 in all their games. I feel like they're due to have an off shooting night.
Their defense has played great, but UConn also held Gonzaga to 54 points.
I think UConn's gonna win by 10. I just think they're too good.
I'm saying, yeah, I'm gonna say 15 just because I feel like their margin is just so great. So okay, so for you it's FAU, and it is going to be FAU and then UConn. Who are you taking?
I just think it'd be crazy to take FAU over UConn. I just think that'd be crazy. I know they're
Actually,
playing real well, and it would be a great story because the lowest seed to ever win a national title is an 8 seed, so they would be the
correct.
lowest at a 9 seed. I just don't think that they could be. I don't know. I
don't
think
think they will.
I think if FAU played UConn, they would hang around for a while in the first half, and I think near the end of the first half, UConn would open it up, and then second half they would just win.
Hot take: if UConn doesn't win, I think the next best team to win is San Diego State. I'm sorry, I just feel like they've had the best team. I feel like they have.
I just haven't been that impressed compared
I
to
am
the
kind of
others.
mad though because I really wanted it to be a repeat of 2014. I really wanted both. Like since IU was out at that point, I didn't care who won on either men or women's as long as it wasn't Iowa and Miami. Um, so I really wanted it to be a repeat. I wanted the UConn women's team to play and I wanted the UConn men's team to play and I wanted them both to win. But UConn women obviously lost, which was bizarre to me to VT. But so for me, it's UConn, San Diego State. I'm taking UConn. UConn is just you want to talk about the hottest team in the tournament? UConn has by far and wide been the hottest team in the tournament. Like no hesitation. There's been nobody that's come close to them.
With the way this tournament's going, I wouldn't be surprised if they lost. But
I wouldn't
think
either. I mean, the tournament's been
clearly the best
screwed since
team
the beginning.
of the four. I think they're the best team.
Yeah, I mean, of the four, they're easily the winner here. All right, moving into women's though. So we've got everything right so far. The only thing that is not right is the fact that we're not in it. Um, South Carolina and Iowa are playing, and then it is Virginia Tech and LSU. Um, okay, don't look it up. Guess what percentage of people think that South Carolina is going to win, and what percentage think Iowa is going to win?
Don't look it up. It's got
Don't
to
look it
be at
up.
least. It's got to be at least 90% for South Carolina.
You're actually close. 85% think South Carolina is going to just beat them,
There,
and I'm
I
100% in
agree.
that.
I agree.
100%. South Carolina, they're literally the team. I picked IU to go all the way, and I knew we would lose to South Carolina. I love our team. Our team was honestly deserved to be number 2.
South Carolina's whole team, I think all of their starting, I think their starting 5, you could probably put all of them. If you have a list of the top like 20 women's players, South Carolina's whole
They're
starting
still
5 is
starting
on that
5.
list.
Correct.
Look, I've kind of
Caitlin Clark deserved the award. She's the best player in the women.
I've had to bite my tongue on a lot of the Caitlin Clark hate. I mean, it'd be cool. I'd honestly rather see Iowa win than South Carolina.
I wouldn't,
because I think it'd be better for the Big Ten. But I think South Carolina.
I cannot physically allow Caitlin Clark to win anything because then she will just continue talking shit. It's annoying, and I understand she. I cannot deny the fact that she is easily the best, in my opinion, easily the best player right now in the women's NCAA. I mean, she is, and she deserved the award. But
is that there were postseason women's basketball games that were getting better ratings than regular season NBA games.
Oh yeah, what was it? The Virginia Tech,
which just sounds crazy to think about.
I think it was the Virginia Tech UConn game got like 3.5 million something, and like the NBA games didn't even get top $1 million on ESPN.
I know the Indiana Miami game got for women's was over $1 million.
I think they only got like 900,000.
Or it was real close. I think that this South Carolina Iowa game might be the most hyped women's game in like a long time.
Oh, easily. I actually got all of them right except for I actually no, I didn't. I had LSU going to the Elite Eight and losing to us. So I'm not shocked that LSU won, and I'm happy they beat Miami. But I'm shocked UConn didn't. That actually, I want to go back to that because that actually kind of made me a little mad.
They lost to Ohio State, didn't they?
Oh, they did lose to Ohio State. Yeah, that made me mad. And then I'm glad that Virginia Tech beat Ohio State. I hate Ohio State. God, I hate Ohio State. But UConn lost bad to Ohio State too. They lost by 12, which is, I mean, not bad, but like the fact that they were up. They actually
They said that UConn's women's team has made the Elite Eight every year since like 2005.
Yeah, no, and they're ridiculous. But what's even worse is the fact that they allowed my Ohio State to go on a 21-9 run in the second quarter. After that, like it was 17-15 at the end of the first. They went on a 21-9 run, and then it was 18 apart in the third, and then 19-17. So the fact that you allowed,
I think South Carolina beats Iowa. I think Virginia Tech will beat LSU, and then I think.
Okay, interesting.
And then I think South Carolina will beat them.
I'm thinking South Carolina wins easy. Like I'm not even like I know Caitlin Clark is all that, but I'm saying that they win by at least 10. At least South Carolina. I actually, Quincy, I know you said it already, but in the top 20 players, I'm saying that the starting 5 of South Carolina are all in the top 5. Like I'm not even joking.
They're just huge. They're just bigger than everyone.
They're big and they're ridiculous. Like Caitlin Clark is gonna have to literally pull up from half court every time because they're just gonna block her stuff. They're a good 6 to 7 inches taller than her, some of them. So, yeah, no, it's going to be ridiculous. They're going to actually have to move away from Caitlin Clark. I think South Carolina will win. I actually think LSU is going to win this. LSU has proven to be
right. Those games are today, right?
Huh?
Those games are today.
Yes, they're today. Yeah, LSU plays at 7, which I'll be watching at work. And then at 9:30 tonight, Iowa plays South Carolina, which I will have up while I'm. I have to put that up while I'm streaming later tonight. So they are literally going to be. I actually should do my video. So I'm in a social media class for sports, and we have to create a fake TikTok account and make 2 TikTok videos about a sports figure, like one about all the nice things about them and one about all of like the bad things about them.
Good thing TikTok's not banned here, like Purdue.
I know, right? Yeah, imagine being Purdue taking another L early in the first round. But that was that too soon. My bad. So we have to do that, and then we have to post them and see like which one gets more attraction. And I said, well, it's kind of hard to find anybody that I just really hate to do a whole minute video on. And then I went, Caitlin Clark. All right. So we'll see who I do it on. But so yeah, I'm taking South Carolina over LSU though. South Carolina is easily the best team. I would be willing to say that South Carolina is probably like the best women's team I've seen in the last 15 years. Like I know UConn has had some really great teams, but South Carolina is ridiculous. Like ridiculous. All right. So yeah, that's crazy. We'll see. Oh, wait, you said South Carolina too. So
I
we're
think
chilling
South
there.
Carolina plays Virginia Tech, and then South Carolina wins.
Yeah. All right. How much time we got left in the show? We got about 45 minutes. All right. So we got two more things we want to talk about, and then we do have another draft. I don't know how we're I guess we'll say you're the winner. So the way I had to do it is that the text wouldn't fit in a text poll, so I had to make like a post and like say comment the answer. And last I checked, hang on, let me double. Maybe there's another comment.
I definitely.
But like nobody. No, we only had one comment on the community post. Yeah, one comment, and all it says is "Miracle is my #1 favorite movie," which Miracle on Ice was your pick, but they didn't say that's my favorite list. They just said that's my favorite movie.
I think I
So I mean, I guess we'll give it to you just because they listed one of your movies, but nobody commented, "Yeah, this is my favorite list." They said that's my favorite movie.
We gotta talk about opening day,
man. Well, no, we are. So we'll give you the win on that though. So you'll get the championship pick when we do it in a minute. All right. So opening day was absolutely bizarre. I just want to start off with my team because this is the only game I genuinely watched and actually care about. I'll talk about my team and then I'll let you go with the rest of it because it's your thing. The New York Yankees. Oh my God, talk about a freaking way to start the season. Aaron Judge deserves unlike Daniel Jones in New York. Aaron Judge deserved every penny he got paid in New York. He deserved. The fact that on the first at bat of the season, he hammers that motherfucker to center field was priceless. I was watching. I screamed so loud, I actually heard some people down the hall go, "What was that?" Like I screamed. I was so pumped. I was like, "This is the only thing I care about in baseball is watching the Yankees that everybody hates." The Yankees are like the New England Patriots of the MLB. You only like them if you're from New York or you grew up with people New York fans. Everybody else hates them. So it makes me so happy to see them do well because it pisses everybody else off. So to see that was great. Obviously, we had some other great ones. Obviously, Gleyber Torres had a good homer. That was really nice to see. I'm so happy that DJ LeMahieu is back. I really like him. But yeah, I mean, Aaron Judge had a great opener. Hit a home run. He had an RBI. I think he actually had. Did he have 2 RBIs or just one? I think he had one. Yeah, because his homer was a single. So he had an RBI and then he had a home run, which is ridiculous. Yeah, no, that game was crazy. The Giants looked horrible. I'm just really shocked.
The Giants aren't supposed to be very good this year, but
they're not. But I mean, still, like it was a really all around like really horrible performance. I want to say, I mean, their pitching wasn't horrible, but it was 100% not good. I want to say they had 16 strikeouts. But like I want to say, oh wow, I didn't realize Logan Webb played 6. I thought he only played 5. But yeah, I mean the Yankees looked really good. Garrett Cole pitched an amazing game in my opinion. He only had 3 hits on him, 11 strikeouts. I will say that's the one thing I think is going to hurt us this year is we lost quite a few of our good pitchers and our relief pitchers. So that's going to be a problem. Garrett Cole, thank God, stayed. But yeah, overall, I thought we did fantastic. I like the game. All right, Quincy. I mean, I can chip in on a couple of these, but most of them I didn't.
will talk about the Cubs and then a few other games quickly, and then I want to talk about the rule changes and what we saw from them yesterday.
Yes.
So the Cubs won. They won 4-0 over Milwaukee. The new addition, Dansby Swanson, played amazing. He had a great game. He went 3 for 4 with a run. Didn't get any RBIs. Or I thought he had an RBI. No, he had one. He had one RBI. But he played really well. 3 hits. He really showed out. The Cubs won 4-0. They scored all their runs in 1 inning. Trey Mancini, also a new addition. He had an RBI single. Marcus Stroman was out there dealing 6 innings, 3 hits, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts, no earned runs. and then 3 different relievers pitched a scoreless inning. So that's what got the Cubs to
Look
win. The
impressive.
Brewers also made 2 error, or this says they only
I
made
will
1 error. This says they
I
only
will
made
say
1
they
error.
actually look
They really made
good.
2. They
I'm
made
actually
2.
I'm actually
The
looking
missed
really
throw
good.
on the Dansby Swanson hit scored a run, and then they had a play where Willie Adames could have gotten the out at first, but he tried to tag second base and got beat to the bag. I thought that should have been ruled an error, but they didn't rule it an error. It ultimately doesn't really matter. The Cubs win 4-0. So
I'm impressed. They're
19
actually I feel
runs.
like they can actually win that division if they try, but
It's gonna be tough, but maybe
yeah,
it's
because like
not
where
completely
wait
out of the
who's
question.
still in there? Who's in their division? I don't even remember anymore.
The St. Louis is gonna be
Oh
really good
no, yeah,
this year.
no. St. Louis is going to be. They lost, which was shocking to me, but I think that they just are rough right
Yeah,
now.
they lost to the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays are really good. I mean, that was a great
I think
game.
we're still better than the Blue Jays this year.
This Blue Jays Cardinals game was wild.
That
I
was
mean,
I
just
didn't watch it all, but I saw
they
part
were
of it.
down. The Blue Jays were down 9-8 going into the top of the ninth, and then George Springer had Springer and Guerrero both brought home runs, so they won 10-9. Also,
Vladimir
the
Guerrero
Orioles.
Jr.
Well, the Orioles were all over the Red Sox in this game. They were up
The Red
10 to
Sox are
4.
yo. Red Sox are dog shit. Everybody's been saying it forever,
The
bro.
thing
I'm
is, though,
sorry.
I think it says a lot about the Orioles because my hot take: the Orioles will make the playoffs. I think they will make the playoffs. They have
They
a.
almost made
They
the playoffs
are.
last year
They're
until they
looking
fell
really.
apart again.
Cedric Mullins, Adley Rutschman, Santander, Mountcastle, Gunnar Henderson, Jorge Mateo's real fast. I got Adam Free or hold on.
I will say their biggest issue is they're going through pitchers quickly. Like they went through 6 pitchers in that game.
Yeah, they went through because near the end they almost fell apart, but they ended up winning. Adley Rutschman went deep. I mean, he's amazing. He's a switch hitting catcher. This is going to be his first full season, and I think he's going to show out, man. I'm really excited to
He went
watch
crazy. He had
to
5 hits. Holy
Adley
shit.
Rutschman. Switch hitting catcher with terrific defense.
Yeah, he went
That's
100% from at bat, bro. That's crazy. He didn't miss a single one. That's actually bizarre.
Yeah, and then the Pirates beat the Reds 5-4. The White Sox beat the Astros. I did not think that would happen. They were down 1-0 in the 8th, and then Grandal hit a home run to tie it. Then Andrew Vaughn had a 2-run double in the 9th, so they won 3-2. I was really surprised they won that game.
I don't even like the Sox.
The
I mean, I
Rockies
say the
also beat the
Astros.
Padres. The Rockies had a great
That was
offensive showing. My boy Chris Bryant went 3 for 5. Listen to this middle of the order. Chris Bryant 3 for 5. Charlie Blackmon 3 for 5. CJ Cron 4 for 5. And
yeah, that was
who
crazy.
else? And Elahuris Montero went 2 for 5.
Yeah, no, they went crazy.
Their whole, they played really well. Dodgers won. The Mariners won. The Mets won 5-3. That was a pretty good game. Okay, so I don't know how many games you watched yesterday, but
I only watched the Yankees one mainly, but
I
I
watched the
watched
Cubs
some of the
game in
clips.
class.
Yeah, I watched the
Our
Yankees
teacher
game.
ended class early because everyone was just watching baseball, and because she was talking about transgender women in sports and how they're I don't know. No one cared. Everyone just kind of all right, I'm just gonna watch baseball. And she's like,
I
okay,
mean,
well, I've said all I needed to say. She's like, I don't really have anything else to add. I'll let you guys go watch baseball.
yeah, no, I mean, the
But
funny
what
thing
did you
is
think of the rule changes?
Okay, so I watched the Yankees game pretty much all the way through, and then I kind of just skimmed through some of them just out of curiosity. I will say they've definitely gotten it to the ability to where it's a little bit more interesting to watch. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm still not big on just sitting through I mean, I want to say the Yankees game lasted about 2 hours and 45 minutes. I want to say is how long that game ended up being.
That's fair for a game. I think it really
It's fair, but it wasn't it's still one of those things. It's yeah, Aaron Judd hit that homer, and I was like, oh my god, we may actually get a lot more hits in. And then as soon as that happened, it was kind of slow for the next 4 innings until the next 2 innings until obviously Gleyber Torres hit another homer, and then we still had that those in betweens. But I think that the pitch clock is definitely helping. Obviously, yeah, I mean, I saw a little bit of spring training, so I saw it a little bit, but seeing it more in a true in MLB starting season, I definitely like the new rules because unless you're a diehard
I
baseball
thought
fan,
the
those three
Cubs
and a half
game
to 4 hour games.
flew by. I thought the Cubs game
Yeah,
was
because I mean, before
flew
this,
by.
unless you were a diehard baseball fan, the 3.5, 4 hour games were just too much.
Well, here's the thing.
I think
I like the pitch clock. I didn't really see much from the shift. The shift was kind of weird.
Zed, it's my man Zed.
So I liked the pitch clock. I thought the pitch clock was great.
I do also. I'm not a big fan of the shift thing. The shift thing, I'm still not a fan of because it's literally the dumbest.
Is just gonna allow for more hits. I don't know.
It's
I
not
like
though
it
because
and I
they're
don't.
smart.
I'm
What
kind
they're
of
doing is
neutral on that made in the shift. I will say so. The new rule with the stealing bases is the bases are bigger. You can only pick off 3 times, and if you pick off 3 times and you don't get them, they just get to go to the next base. So like Dansby Swanson was dangerously close to getting picked off because he kept getting big leads trying to bait him to get picked off, and he almost did, but he didn't. I will say though, one thing that was interesting in the Mets Marlins game, Jeff McNeil got called for an automatic strike because it was a foul ball, and Pete Alonso was like walking back because he was running on the pitch, and then he walked back to first. And they said he took too long walking back to first, but he was already because here's the thing: the rule states you have to wait until the clock starts when all the base runners are on their bag, unless they take excessive time to get back to the base. And Pete Alonso was not taking excessive time. If you want,
no, he wasn't. It was bullshit.
so
And that's just something
I thought that was kind of bullshit. But other than that,
yeah,
I think it's.
I mean, I want to go back to the shift real quick. I think it's the reason I hate it so much is because I know it allows for more hits, but what I noticed during spring training and what I have a feeling they're going to start doing is they're just going to bring either the left or the right fielder, whichever hand, depending on whoever is hitting. They're going to bring them in and put them right on the outside of the dirt, whatever position they need him to be. They're practically going to shift everybody.
All the infielders have to be on the dirt. They can't be on the grass at all.
Correct. So they're going to bring an outfielder in and put him right on the edge so that he's still in the outfield, so they can kind of work the shift that way.
I don't know. It depends. I mean, you could find loopholes.
They did it during spring training.
You could find loopholes, but I think ultimately it's not going to ruin the game. Like I'm sure players can find loopholes and then they can adjust the rules accordingly. But I don't think it's going to ruin baseball like most people are thinking that it's going to. I'm a big fan of the rule changes. A lot of the staunch traditionalists are, I don't know. But I think overall pretty much everyone is in favor.
I do have to say, from a viewer standpoint, I like it because I don't have to sit through 4 hours of a game, but also I understand because as somebody who has grown up watching sports their entire life and playing sports, it is definitely something to where it's like you're taking away from the game itself because it's always been what it was.
Not really.
So yeah, really, because it's always been that's what the game of baseball has been. Now, I mean, that's just like if they took away if they put in football to where you always have to run hurry up, you can't have any huddles, you can't have a break to discuss anything.
It's not where like that fast of a pace though. It's
no, like, but for baseball it is. Because baseball, like what was the average time between pitches before this pitch clock was invented?
I don't know, but the poster child for the pitch clock is Pedro Baez because in the NLCS against the Cubs in 2016, he took like 2 minutes between pitches. He stepped off the mound like 4 times, and he picked off like 10. And there are clips of like teams getting through a whole half inning in the same time it takes Pedro Baez to throw 1 pitch.
Yeah, so the average time without anybody on base was 15 to 18 seconds, while with people on base was 20 to 23. This makes it so that it doesn't go over 20, which I like. Like it literally is saying, hey, you got to throw the ball. And I like that, but also like I understand where people are coming from it's just been like the suspense has always been what makes baseball like, like, oh my God, is he going to throw it here? What's he going to do? And like the more fast pace, it really is that for baseball though, because baseball's always been kind of a just like take your time, get in the stance, do whatever. And now you're rapid firing these pitches. And I wouldn't be shocked if we see more pitches.
It retains your attention more, and it's not like
I agree
dragging the game on forever. I love it.
Oh, I 100% agree. Baseball was the one sport besides like it and golf were like the 2 most boring sports for me to watch because I would be sitting there and like 30 minutes would go by and I would have saw like 2 batters come up.
It's like I think people are noticing it more because they're looking for it. But I guarantee you, most baseball fans have been to a pitch clocked game before this and they haven't even noticed it. Because a lot of the minor leagues had pitch clocks before. So it feels fast because I feel like people are like, oh my God, I have to look for it now. Look how fast it's going. It's just going to make the game overall better. I'm a big fan.
Yeah. All right. Today's games, you just want to preview those really quick, and then we'll hop into NBA because I've got to cut it a little bit short.
It's mostly just a continuation of the series from now. There are only 5 games, and because some teams go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, some go Thursday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, Mets Marlins pitching matchup is if they'll show it. Jesus Luzardo versus David Peterson. Luzardo's a stud. I think he's going to break out this year. I'll take the Marlins just because I love Jesus Luzardo. White Sox Astros, the pitching matchup is Lance Lynn versus Christian Javier. I think the Astros are going to get revenge from that opening day loss. I think they're going to come out and win. Rockies Padres, the pitching matchup is Kyle Freeland versus Nick Martinez. I don't know. Kyle Freeland's not that bad. He's okay. He played in the World Baseball Classic and was pretty good. I'll take the Rockies again. Why not? Dodgers D-backs pitching matchup is Dustin May versus Merrill Kelly. I don't know. Dustin May had a 4.5 ERA last year. He's real young. He's 25. I think he could be poised for a breakout year. Dustin May is a really good talent. I'll take the Dodgers again. And then Guardians and Mariners pitching matchup is Hunter Gaddis versus Robbie Ray. I don't know. Robbie Ray last year kind of had a letdown year compared to his Cy Young year, but he still had a 3.7 ERA. It's not terrible.
Yeah, not bad.
I will take Seattle. Those are all
okay. What was I gonna say? Crap, I had it. I legit had it in my head, and now I am literally blanking. Crap. Why can I not think of anything? Holy crap. I don't remember what I was gonna say now. I'm literally having that kind of day today.
I kind of got to head out
soon.
I might have to skip the movies part because I kind of got to head out soon.
Okay, well, we can do that now if you want. That way we can get, because people actually seem to like that. I've actually had a couple of my friends.
I didn't make a list, so I don't think I'd be well equipped.
Okay. We'll do NBA. I also had people asking me to bring this segment back a little bit. I had a couple of people that watch the show text me. You want to do trivia real quick? I've got some pulled up.
Okay, run it.
All right. Because you're definitely better at this because I put questions that are actually easier instead of yours of like, all right, in 1944, this random farmer came off the farm and hit one pitch in the MLB. Who was it?
Okay.
Those are your questions. So no.
All right.
All right. That one's too easy. All right, this one's good. How many medals did China win at the 2008 Beijing Olympics?
They had the most. They had to have had the most.
There's options. Hang on. There's options. I'll give it to you. There's A 70, B 80, C 90, or D 100.
I'll say 90.
90. Okay. Okay. All right. Hang on, I was trying to figure something out. Gosh. All right. These are not the right questions. All right, here we go. Interesting. How long is a marathon? Like just an average marathon.
26.2 miles.
I was gonna give you options too, but damn, okay.
I just know it.
Oh, this is actually a good one.
My mom ran a half marathon, which was 13.1.
Your mom did?
Yeah.
Mama Bell running.
What they kept telling her is they're like, once you finish a half marathon, once you train for a half marathon and run a half marathon, you're gonna want to do the full one. Like after.
Well, yeah, because at that point it's like you just feel like you're not complete.
Okay, so my mom ran the half marathon, and she's like, I am not doing 2 of these in one. She's like, hell no. I'm not running 2 of these back to back. I will take my medal and leave.
All right. How old was Tiger Woods when he won the Masters? Do you know this off the top of your head?
Was he, I think he was like 21 or something like that. I think he was really young.
I'll give you options. A 20, B 21, C 22, or D 23.
I'll say 21. I think it's 21.
All right. All right. In which winter sport are the terms stalefish and mule kick used? A, skiing, B, ice skating, C, snowboarding, or D, snowmobiling?
Wait, the term. What was the term?
Stalefish and mule kick.
Name. Okay, name the sports again.
Give me a sec. I gotta. All right, hang on. Okay, here we go. Skiing, ice skating, snowboarding, or snowmobiling.
I think it's snowboarding. Because like when you grab the board, when you like kick it behind you and grab it, I think that's I just think I'm just gonna say snowboarding.
Okay. I'm trying to find another one. Some of these I hate these. You like pull them up and then it's like, what color are football goalposts? And it's like, what the fuck? Hey, I have to ask you this one.
Depending on the team, they can be different colors.
No, this is like NFL. Like
in the NFL they're all yellow, but like in
they're all yellow.
Colleges will make it different colors.
All right, what sport is best known as the king of sports?
I mean, is it just going to be soccer? Because it's the
100%. Ooh, this is actually one I didn't know. All right, in what year were women allowed to compete in the modern Olympic Games, and in what sport were they first allowed to compete?
I'm gonna say the first. Okay, for first sport, I think it's either figure skating or gymnastics, because those are the two most popular Olympic sports, and they're both dominated by women. So I think it's gonna be one of them too.
Okay.
I'll say gymnastics in 1920, roaring 20s. Let's let the women compete. I don't know.
All right, and then we'll do one more, and then we'll do NBA before you have to go. All right, basketball Scotter. Oh, whoa, that didn't come out right. Holy crap. Basketball player Scottie Pippen has a word tattooed on his forearm. What does it say?
I have not a clue.
It's definitely one that everybody just thinks is funny because it's just like it's the easiest thing to think of.
I have not a clue in the world.
All right, we'll go over them. All right, you got the soccer one right, obviously, because it is indeed the king of sports. What was the other one I did? Oh, how long is a marathon? You got that right. It is 26.2. Tiger Woods did indeed win the Masters at 21. Most people say 20, so I was really hoping you'd get it wrong. I feel like actually a lot of people also say 19, which I was like, nah, I knew it was 21, but 19 is actually a common answer too. You were indeed right. It is snowboarding. I was actually shocked you got that one.
It was snowboarding?
It was snowboarding. Yeah, you
so
got
that
what, right.
5 for 5?
Think. No, you're 4 for 4. I mean, I gave you the soccer one. That was just an easy one to rub in your face. In what year were women allowed to compete in the modern Olympic Games, and in what sport? It was 1900, and it was tennis.
Okay.
I didn't know that. I thought that one was interesting. I would have said the same thing. I would have said either figure skating or gymnastics because like that is literally the most female dominated thing ever in the Olympics. Also, I didn't realize it was so early. I thought it was the like mid 1900s. I didn't think it was that early. Basketball player Scottie Pippen has a word tattooed on his forearm. What does it say? It just says Pip. Legit. He's just everybody knows that.
All right. I think if you're gonna do you can do NBA, I gotta head out. I'll let you do NBA by yourself.
All right, cool. And then I'll post this later.
All right, bye y'all.
All right, say peace to Quincy.
Hopefully, Eddie doesn't try to convince you that Jordan Poole is an all-star.
Oh, I will. Don't worry. That's 100% going to happen. But we'll see. We may see Quincy in 2 weeks if we don't get him on next week because he's leaving early. So
I'll see. I'll probably be on.
I'll try and get you. All right, peace, my man. All right, guys. So yeah, Quincy had to go. He had to leave a little early. I have still got about half an hour. So I want to get into a little bit of NBA talk. We may do a little NFL. There's just not a lot to talk about as of right now. So the main things I want to talk about, though, at NBA right now are the standings. The fact that there is only a 4-game difference between the 6th and the 11th seed right now is kind of crazy. Or a 3-game difference. Sorry, there's a 4-game difference between the 5th and the 11th seed. As of right now, there's only 3 teams in both the Eastern and Western Conference that have clinched. The Nuggets, Grizzlies, and Kings have all clinched in the Western Conference. And then, of course, the Bucks, Celtics, and 76ers. And the Cavs. I forgot the Cavs clinched, too. So, never mind. There are 4 teams in the East that have clinched. And then The remaining standings, the Suns are sitting at 4, Clippers at 5, Warriors at 6 right now, Pelicans at 7, the Wolves are sitting at 8, and then the Lakers are at 9. And and then of course the Thunder at 10. That rounds out the play-in tournament. The Mavericks are a game behind the Thunder right now. The Mavericks have just not been playing as good as they should. I've been very disappointed in how they've been playing. So that'll be interesting to see if they can kind of pull stuff together with Luka and Kyrie. As of right now, from what I'm seeing, Nuggets by far, in my opinion, they are the best team in the West. There's not even a conversation right now. I will say, I think that if they in the first round, they're going to have their work cut out against them if they end up playing the Timberwolves. As it stands right now, if they play the Timberwolves, I think that they honestly have their work cut out for them. Sorry, guys. That's going to be an amazing game. If we look at the Grizzlies playing the Pelicans, I think the Grizzlies can win that. It depends on how they're playing right now. I like the current matchup of where the Warriors are. Warriors would play the Kings. The Kings haven't made the playoffs since 2006. First time they've clinched a spot and made it in the playoffs since 2006. This is a big deal. They're going to have the hype. They're going to have the momentum. But also, we, as a Warriors fan, are the best clutch playoff team. I'm sorry, we are. Like, if there's one team right now that I would be scared to play in the playoffs, it is the Warriors. Like, they're not doing great. They're sitting at 40-37 right now. I think if we win tonight, maybe tonight or tomorrow, I think we clinch. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that's going to work. But as of right now, we are not in the play-in tournament, which I would like to keep it that way. But we literally are always one of the most clutch teams in the playoffs. Always. Nobody wants to play us in the playoffs because we are historically one of the best clutch teams since we won our very first championship in the playoffs. The Suns, with KD coming back, he didn't have a great game coming back, only 16 points, which wasn't fantastic, but he still had a good game. They're sitting at 4 right now, and they will be playing the Clippers if the standings stay the same. If I had to pick an early season favorite to go right now, and people hate me for it, as a Warriors fan, it pains me to say it, but I honestly think the Suns could make it. They've got a fantastic team with KD, Chris Paul, Devin Booker. I do think the Warriors are going to be a sleeper team in the playoffs. I think the Timberwolves will too, honestly. Timberwolves and the Warriors will be a sleeper team, and I could see them making it. In the Eastern Conference right now, the Cavaliers are my sleeper team. Now, they've been playing very well. Obviously, they've already clinched at number 4. But I think that if I had to pick, the Bucks are just so hot right now. They've been so good. I mean, obviously they just lost the game, but they are the best team in the league, easily 55-22. They're the best team in the league. The Celtics aren't far behind. They're also a fantastic team. I wouldn't be shocked if they end up winning. There's just a lot of teams that I think are doing really, really well right now. But yesterday, we had the Celtics blew out the Bucks 140-99. I know that they rested a couple of their guys, I'm pretty sure, which is the biggest thing. Jason Tatum went off. He had 40 points, 8 rebounds, and an assist. I'm pretty sure maybe they didn't rest anybody. Giannis played only 25 minutes. Yeah, they really tried to just rotate everybody. Giannis only played 25 minutes. He still had 24 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. Drew Holiday, 6 points. But they played a lot of guys like kind of just late. Looks like Bobby Portis played quite a bit, had 12 points, 10 rebounds. So they didn't really play many people. The Celtics were more just like, yeah, we're just going to play everybody. Jason Tatum played 31, Derek White 26, Jaylen Brown 32. They kind of just kept their starters in. Blake Griffin played 6 minutes, so that was interesting. But yeah, they've got some good players. They've been playing really well. Marcus Smart had a good game, but Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum together combined for 70 of their 140 points. So they legitimately had half the team's points, and they also almost got more than the entire Bucks team combined. So honestly, the Celtics are, after looking at those stats, I'm going to say that right now the Celtics are my favorite to win the team, or to win it all. Today, Bulls are playing the Hornets. Hornets have already been taken out. LaMelo is hurt again. The Bulls still have a chance, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. The Bulls are sitting in the play-in tournament as of right now at number 10. They're 2 games ahead of the Wizards. So they still have a chance. The 76ers are playing the Raptors. The Raptors also still have a chance. They're right now sitting at number 9 in the play-in. So they definitely need to win that. Magic are playing the Wizards. Both those teams, I'm pretty sure, are out. Could be wrong. The Wizards are, as of right now, out of the play-in tournament. They're behind by 2 games, and the Magic are also they can't even make the playoffs at this point. So that's right now as it's going to stand. Pacers playing the Thunder. Pacers have already pulled their starters. They're already just trying to get in the bottom draft to get a good draft pick, and they've already not going to make it. The Thunder are on the verge. They are right now number 10 in the West. They are in the play-in tournament, so they're going to try to hopefully get that victory. The Knicks are playing the Cavs. Cavs have already clinched, and the Knicks are struggling. Julius Randle's going to be out. They just beat the Heat. They had a great game. I think that's going to be a momentum booster, but I mean, with Julius Randle out, they're going to struggle. So we'll kind of see. Sorry, I guess I'm getting a whole bunch of notifications at once. Oh wow, we just had Javon Quinley enter the draft. Also, Brandon Miller has said he's entering the draft. So a lot of stuff like that for the NBA. Knicks, but yeah, hopefully the Knicks need to win that to clinch. I think right now they're sitting at 5. Yeah, they're sitting at 5 right now. They're 3 games, or they're 2.5 games ahead of the Nets at 6. So they should be good if they win this. And then the Nets are playing the Hawks. The Hawks need a win. They're sitting at 38 and 38. They're sitting at 8th seed right now. They're in the play-in tournament, but they need to keep winning. They're literally tied with the Raptors, who have the same record, and they're only 2 games ahead of the Bulls at 10. So need to stay in that. Overall, I think that's it for that. I don't think there's any major things I really talk about NFL free agency wise. I don't think, unless something major just happened. Let's just double check. Sorry, guys. I wasn't planning on talking about NFL, but we got a little bit more time to talk about. So if there's anything, all right, here we go. So yeah, there's not much of anything going on crazy. It doesn't seem like. For the most part, it looks like everything's pretty much the same. Yeah, the Cardinals didn't do a whole bunch. It doesn't look like they did bring in Zach Pascal, which is interesting. The Falcons re-signed Lorenzo Carter. They get Jonnu Smith, which I think is great via the trade with the Patriots. Jonnu is a great tight end. They did pick up Taylor Heineke, which is cool. They did get Calais Campbell. I forgot about Calais, which is going to be a big pickup for them, just on a 1-year deal. The Ravens obviously still shopping Lamar, or Lamar still shopping. He doesn't have an agent. That whole thing is stupid. I mean, I just don't even know where they're going to go with that. It's been very interesting to watch that play out. They did get Justice Hill. They did get Nelson Aguilar, which is good. The Buffalo Bills are going crazy right now. So they get Jordan Poyer to continue. Conor McGruver is playing. Deontay Hardy, which I think was interesting. They're bringing him in. He's a little older on a 2-year deal. Matt Milano, they signed him to a 2-year extension. They bring in Damian Harris on a 1-year deal from the Patriots. Taylor Rapp from the Rams, they bring him in. And Panthers, they did a lot. I don't like the Andy Dalton signing. I think Andy Dalton is just not a great quarterback. Honestly, at that point, you might as well play CMC at running back. You should have just kept him. You should have put him at quarterback. DJ Chark, which was a good 1-year bring in. They brought him Adam Thielen for 3 years, which I thought was crazy. They did pick up Julian Love, which kind of makes me mad. They signed him to a 2-year deal. Miles Sanders, they get from the Eagles. They put him on a 4-year, $25 million deal. They got Hayden Hurst from the Bengals for a 3-year, $21 million deal. So they did a lot. Now the Bears. They got DJ Moore from the trade, of course. They got Tremaine Edmonds, who they picked up, which is good. They got Nate Davis. That is a big need. DeMarcus Walker wasn't really a great signing, in my opinion. PJ Walker, they picked up as a quarterback, pending physical. Looks like that's going to be, I think, a trade. Deontay Foreman, they picked up on a 1-year deal, so that was interesting. They got Robert Tonyan from the Packers, so that was cool. Yeah, but for the most part, there wasn't much else. I know Gilly Lock ended up going to the Cowboys via a trade, which is interesting. They did franchise tag Tony Pollard, who's the best running back, in my opinion, on that team. They did cut Zeke. About damn time, in my opinion. But yeah, there's not too much else to talk about. I will be doing another draft go through. Oh, I don't know if I talked. I think I did. Darren Waller goes to the Giants. So that was honestly something I was super pumped about. We got a lot. Daniel Jones, obviously, still not happy about that. Saquon franchise tag, but Darren Waller, we got Bobby Okereke, which is awesome. I'm trying to think. We got Matt Burrito. We re-signed him for a year. Sterling Shepard came back on a year deal. Isaiah Hodgins came back. Paris Campbell, which I was pumped about. I always say I love Paris Campbell in real life. I feel like the Colts didn't use him a lot, and the fact that we got him was awesome. Darius Slayton came back. He re-signed to a 2-year deal. Yeah, we got a lot of good hope here. But yeah, overall, I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else that we really have to talk about. Um, Quincy is leaving early on Friday, so we may not have him on the show. We're trying to see if we can find another time to do it throughout the week, but my schedule is pretty busy. I know that his schedule is like kind of we don't really line up all the time. Also depends on if we can get the booth. Um, so we'll see about that. If not, it may just be me on Friday. Jackson should be back by then, so that'll be nice. And then Quincy will be back the week after if he's not back then. So, but yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. I know this is another weird setup. I know this is probably a shorter episode, but there was just really a couple things to talk about. Sports is kind of getting to that time where there's only like one sport to really get into. It's going to be MLB and then NBA, and then we're done for the school year. We'll be done for the season, and we won't be back until we start up again in the school year next year for season 3. So we've got about 4 more shows before the end of school. But yeah, until then, guys, appreciate you guys watching as usual. Make sure to go like and subscribe to the channel. Also follow us on Instagram. I haven't been doing too much on TikTok with all the controversy and crap. I'm not going to do all that work and then just have them ban it and take it all down. So until I know that TikTok's going to just stay as it is, I'm not going to spend, sometimes 35 to 45 minutes every single clip because it takes a bit to edit those out, pull those out, get them into TikTok, run through all the processes of filtering and everything else. So that takes a lot of work to put up there. So I'm not going to do that just for them to have them take them all down and ban them. So I'm really just going to be posting stuff on Instagram when we have shows, stuff like that. So go check that out. I'm probably going to end up creating a Twitter. So yeah, appreciate you guys watching as usual. It's been a fun show. We'll do a draft when we get back on Friday, probably. If it has to be me and Jackson again, we'll do that. But appreciate you guys watching, and make sure to put comments down if you have anything you want us to talk about on the show. And we'll catch you guys for the next show. Peace out, guys.